just delete it. Just delete that person, honestly. Hey girls, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Farah. Today I'll be chit-chatting with you guys about my healing journey, what I did to get here to the point that I am now, how it was before, the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. I'll be doing my makeup at the same time. It won't really be about my makeup, so if you have any question regarding the products or the techniques or brushes that I use, please leave them down below and I'll be glad to answer your questions. But yeah, so my video will be about my healing journey, what I did, how it helped me, where am I now with my life, and you know, tips and tricks that I think really helped me get through the toughest times of my life, and that I think would help you as well. So let's get into it. So this video is not about my makeup. This is more about my healing journey. So if you guys have any questions about the makeup or the techniques or the brushes that I use, leave them down in the comments below. So let's get started. I'm just gonna clip my hair so it's like out of my way. So about my healing journey. So I'm not sure how to start this, so I guess I'll just start. So if we talk about my healing journey, I guess if I give you like a backstory, I'll tell you guys where it went downhill. So basically I was in this relationship, or we can call it a situationship, with someone for like a very long time, but it was the worst relationship. And I'm putting it in, like, I'm doing this because honestly this is the best way that I can find to describe what it was, but it wasn't a relationship. Like, we're not official boyfriend and girlfriend, and it was one of the worst situations that I would wish not upon anybody. That was that. And I had that going on for me. I had a lot of friends that I had from back then, so from high school, and long time friendship, but that weren't serving me anymore. And I just kept on holding on to it because for some reason, you know, I'm the type of person that likes to keep my relationships and my friendships, like, they mean a lot to me. So I would rather, you know, 10 times, well, before, I would have rather, you know, work 10 times harder on my current friendship than have new friends, which is good in a way, but sometimes also it's bad. And we'll get into that later for sure. I was still growing up. So I'm the youngest out of 3 siblings, okay? I was still growing, and I didn't really express the way that I felt towards certain things, especially because of family obligations or the way that I grew up. And we're a very close-knit type of family. Me, my sister, my brother, my mother, my nieces and nephew, my aunt, everybody were really close-knit, but which is perfectly good, but sometimes it kind of got the best of me. And it wasn't good all the time. And that's that. I had, so friendships, sometimes I would, you know, try to save friendship that honestly, if I look at it today, like, it's fun to save friendships, but if you're the only one working on it, that's just a no. And I think that really drained me as well. And my friends, honestly, back then I used to consider my girlfriends because I've known them for so long. They know my family. They know everything about me. We traveled together. We did so many good things together. So I used to consider them like sisters. So losing them was so hurtful to me. Maybe it was necessary for me to grow into the person that I am right now, but it was definitely hurtful. And till today, I still find it hurtful, but I wouldn't want them in my life again. And that part of my life happened so fast. It happened really fast. Like, in a space of like 6 months, I basically lost like 4 or 5 girls that I thought were gonna be in my life forever. What really happened? I can't really tell you guys what happened because it was just a lot of events and different event for each person. And I guess at a certain point, which kind of like shocked me, but I got tired of fighting. I really got tired of fighting for people that didn't fight for me back. And that's when I started to learn to love myself. So another background insight so you guys can understand, I wasn't a people pleaser back then, but I used to always make sure everybody was good before even I was good. So which means that, for example, if I was go out with a friend and I would make sure that she's good. Oh my God, I just threw this. But I would make sure that she's good before even I was good. And in a way that makes me, that makes me a great friend. But to me, it doesn't make me the best person because yes, I used to forget myself at times. And I guess when I started, thinking about myself first and, realizing that yes, the same way that I'm treating my friends and the other people that are around me is the same way that I should treat myself. I guess this is when everybody started just everything around me started falling apart. I lost so many friends. Basically, I stopped being in contact with that person that I was in a relationship with, and I was alone for a while. I was really alone. Not that I did not have any friends, but I was really alone. I had a couple of friends here and there, but it was so hard for me to manage because it was really hard for me to deal with because I got used to being around so many people. A lot of people, I used to be able to text. If, for example, one friend wasn't answering, I used to be able to text the other. And if she wasn't answering, I used to be able to text somebody else to go out or to talk or whatever the reason was, whatever the need that I needed was. But I couldn't do that anymore. So it was really, really tough. So for a while, I just learned to basically be by myself and be my own friend and just, I guess, concentrate and, focus on the people that actually loved me. So I guess the people that were left standing, there were the people that actually really loved me at that time. So it wasn't a big group. It was maybe 2 or 3 people. And it seems like a lot, but to me, it was not a lot. It was just smaller than what I'm used to. So yeah, so that was that. And yeah, I was just really focusing on the people that were focusing on me. Basically, during that stage, I guess I just learned to enjoy my own company. I know it seems so cliche what I'm saying. I feel like it's one of these quotes that you see on Instagram, but to be honest, it's exactly what I did. I just learned how to enjoy my own company, learn how to enjoy the people that actually loved me for me, the friendship that weren't forced, and the people that had the same vision as me, the people that, that I felt like communicating was just easy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that these people were bad people, not at all. I just guess that with growing up, you grow up, you change your mentalities, everybody changes, and you have to understand as well that, yeah, so everybody changes, you grow up, and they were just not good for you anymore. Everybody that comes in your life, it's for a purpose, and it's for a reason. And some people, it's sad to say, but they're just not meant to stay in your life forever, which at first it was super hurtful for me to understand that. But then when you grow and then you understand that life is a cycle and everybody has their own life. Yes, you're the main character of your own life, but they have their own life too. And everybody's life is so different. So what I'm trying to say is, they were not bad people. They just didn't fit in my life anymore. So that's that. And what I started to do as well was, I'm not saying that it was easy. And just so you guys know, it did not happen overnight. This was we're talking about 2-3 years and counting of me trying to make sense of all of this, right? I feel like it was needed because, right, people that have been in your life for such a long time, to me, I feel like it's the hardest people that you want to say. You can't say no to them. And well, at that time for me, that's what it was. I couldn't say no to them. I wanted to keep them in my life. And regardless of what they did to me, or regardless of how I see that our paths weren't the same anymore, I still wanted them in my life, which is bad. But again, once you meet a new person and you see that this person, you don't share the same things, you don't like the same things, you guys are complete opposite, you're not going to want to be friends with her, right? Because you're just like, what do we have in common? So just to say that it was easier for me to attract what I wanted as people, in relationship, in friendships, it was easier for me to attract that because I already knew what I didn't want anymore. I'm not sure if that makes sense. But that's it. Like, I already knew that I did not want this, and I already had it, and I did not want it. So definitely, like, this person is not for me. So that's that. So honestly, like, I could go on and on about the way it opened so many doors for me because I closed the ones that needed to be closed. And I'm just using these, I know it sounds very generic of what I'm saying, but I swear to God, this is what happened to me. So because I closed these doors, well, doors always opening. And yes, I got the wrong ones at first, but eventually I got the right one. So yeah, so this is where I'm at now. Honestly, I kind of started doing this cutting off people thing, but honestly, I cut off people with no shame. Like, and I have to chill on that though. Like, because I'm just creating problems for myself with people, because I can understand that it's not everybody that, you know, takes it well when you delete them or when you block them, even if it's for my own sanity. Sometimes I would just, like, I had somebody on Instagram or on Snapchat or whatever social media, and I would never talk to that person, and their content that they were posting wasn't appealing to me. It wasn't appealing to me. I didn't like it. So I was just like, why do I still have this person? So I would just delete them. But then a couple of weeks or months later, and it happened so many times, guys. I cannot begin to tell you how many times it happened to me, because, you know, this is the way that I would heal, and this is the way that I would deal with certain things that I was dealing with. And a couple of months later, I would hear that this person was just, like, really offended by what I did. Little did they know, it's not really about them. It's more about me and how I feel and my sanity and all of that. So, and I've gotten so good at it. Like, honestly, like, it doesn't take me 2 seconds. I will block somebody if I feel a certain vibe that are not real. If I feel something is forced. If I feel that you're lying to me. If I feel that, what else? If I just don't feel good about a certain situation. If it's a person, I'll cut you off. If it's a event, I won't go. And regardless of whose it is, what birthday it is, I won't go. And this is just for my own self, my own sanity, my own peace, my happiness. And I've gotten so good with it that I need to take a chill on that though. Because sometimes in certain situations, some people, they just, you know, you just need to talk to people. Oh my God, I keep on kicking the camera. I'm sorry. So on certain situation, you need to talk. You can talk. There's always, like, you know, a chance to talk it out, a chance for people to explain themselves. Just misunderstanding, it happens. It's life. Nobody's perfect. So that's why I say that I need to chill on that. But again, I'm not against it. I'm really, really not against it. So basically, to say that if you feel like, sometimes it feels good too, but as soon as you feel like something is toxic and you've talked to somebody over and over about the situation and you went over the pros and the cons and you're not impulsive like me and you've thought about it, just delete it. Just delete that person. Honestly, it does more good than harm, just so you know. So please don't think that I don't want people to think that I'm a heartless person, because I am not. I am the person with the biggest heart. But I've put other people first for so long that I will never do it again, because it never did me any good. I will put myself first, my sanity, my happiness first. Before as well, I used to be a very anxious person, but I had 2 or 3 panic attacks in my life. I had a lot of anxiety attacks as well. And lately I haven't had any. And I'll be honest with you guys, the reason is because I'm surrounded with people that I love and that I trust, and that I know that the feeling is mutual. And I can 100% confirm that this is the reason why. I remember I went on the trip with my friend. At the time, I considered her my friend. It was me and her friends. Basically, the only person that was, let's just call it person A, the only person that was close to me on that trip was person A. But person A had brought her friend, so A, B, C, but that was her friend. And there was a situation where it was such a stupid fight. The way that the fight got solved. First of all, we started speaking about it, and she attacked me in a way that it was, oh my God, I'm trying to like simplify it for you guys, but the way that my friend tried to solve the situation, she literally turned everything on me. Her other friend was there, but she was such a pushover that she literally apologized, and which she did not need to. And at that point, I didn't feel like I needed to apologize. But then basically to say that on that trip, I had a bad anxiety attack. I couldn't call my mom, I couldn't call my dad, I couldn't call my sister, because I swear I would have been on the next plane to wherever I was. So I had to call a friend, a trusted friend, for her to calm me down while I was away. And I didn't want to call my parents because I didn't want to put them in a situation where they were scared for my life. But it's so, I'm saying this, and why am I bringing up this story? It's because today, for a fact, this could never happen to me, because I would only go on a trip with people that I love, people that I trust, people that I know that will not make me anxious, and people that I know that are not gonna push my buttons, that are not gonna gaslight me. And yeah, but again, I was young and it was okay. I made all of these mistakes. I'm so glad that I made them, so it doesn't happen to me today. So that was just one of the events that really happened to me. And just to say that I'm like literally 98% sure that this will never happen again, because the people that I consider my friend and that I will go on vacation with, they care about my well-being. And just so you guys know, I remember that specific time when we were fighting. She could see that I was crying. She could see that I went outside and that I was ventilating. Nobody came for me. I was basically alone, and I just had my friend on the phone. And mind you guys, I was literally like halfway around the world. So I could not go back home if I wanted to. Like, it wasn't like, okay, just go back home. I couldn't do that. So just to say that I know that if I fight with one of my girls on vacation, we'll know how to talk it out. Today, I'll know that, I'll be able to talk it out with them. What else did I want to say? So I could say that now I'm not perfect. I'm still healing. And I think we're forever on a healing route and process. And that's that for me. I don't know about you guys, but I know that I'm never finished. I never finished learning. I never finished healing. I'm always gonna gonna be dealing with things, but I'm glad that I dealt with these things now, and I know how to navigate it. So whatever similar situation happens for me in the future, I know the best way that I should deal with it, and deal with it accordingly, basically. So as I was saying, today in 2023, what I do for me that helps me out is, first of all, I work out. I know, another cliche, because it can sound like, oh my God, this keeps on falling, but it can sound like a cliche if you're not a gym person, but I'll be frankly honest with you, I never was. I never was until I was. I never was a gym person until I was a gym person. What I mean by that is, my gym journey really started slow for me. I used to go to the gym. I used to have a membership at a gym, and I never went. I went maybe once a month, once if my friend was there with me. Other than that, I never went until I found friends that actually went to the gym. We went together, and it started becoming something that I like to do. So reason why I like to do it is because, yes, I know that I want to, when I want to grow old, like I'm not getting any younger. Nobody's getting any younger. So I know that the fact that when I'm going to be older, I want to be like, a hot mama. I want to be a hot MILF, that is for sure. So I just have to, keep this up. So that was one of the main reasons why I was going to the gym, and because, I just wanted to be in shape. But then I started loving the gym because it made me feel good about myself, mentally and physically. So as soon as I get done with the gym, I kind of get like this boosting energy, and I feel good. I feel accomplished. I feel like something has been lifted off my shoulder. I feel like I can get my day started. I know it sounds like what everybody is saying, but this is exactly how I feel. And I just became addicted to that feeling. So because I know that feeling is a great feeling, I just want to keep on going to the gym. And it helped me deal with a lot of situations. So because I'm just releasing a lot of energy and It helps me start my day on the right foot. That's why I love going to the gym. But hold on, guys. I don't go to the gym 5 times a week. At the most now I go is 3 or 4, and that's because summer is coming and a class of Pilates. I'm just saying that the once or the one time or the 2 times that I go to the gym during the week, this is how I feel, and this helps me. This is part of my healing journey because it makes me feel good. So that's one point. Pilates is another thing that makes me feel good. I've always wanted to take Pilates classes. I never did. Once I did, and all of this started slow. So again, Pilates, I wasn't really consistent at it at first. I didn't go. I went with a friend. I went back to level 1. I was never consistent. Then this one time I was like, I really want to be consistent. I know the place that I go right now is somewhere downtown and it's not easy for me. So I made a compromise. So I went to the one next to my house. I know it wasn't it wasn't as modern, and I couldn't really go with my friends because my friend they live on the other side of town, but I was really doing it for me. So, and now honestly, like, I could be dying in my bed and I would still go to Pilates because Pilates on Monday night is like therapy for me. It's my time and I can't miss it. I really can't miss it. And as I went to Pilates, I met my amazing instructor, which she made me fall in love with Pilates even more. So that was that. So Pilates is part of my healing journey. So find a hobby, find something you love, and it just keeps you going. It just keeps you wanting more and doing more for yourself. And that feeling, that accomplished feeling, that good feeling, you're gonna want to feel it again. So that's why you do things that you love. So I also started, eating a bit better. So I was never like how do you say that? I was never like somebody that used to eat bad, but I wasn't really careful with what I was eating. What I'm referring to is because I was younger, I thought that I could eat whatever, and I will always stay skinny. So now my goal is not to stay skinny. My goal is just to stay healthy. So the food that I was eating before was making me super bloated. I did not have a good digestive system, and I was always getting itis after eating because it was very heavy, a lot of heavy food. So not that I don't eat any heavy food anymore, but I know when to and when not to. Like, I can spoil myself, and if I want to eat it today, I'll eat it. If I want to eat it twice today, I will. I'm not holding back. I'm just saying that I just do it in dosage. So I know that, like tomorrow I don't want to be bloated. I want to feel good. So I probably won't eat a poutine today. And trust me, for me to say no to a poutine, it's intense because poutines are my favorite. And for you guys that don't know, poutine is a meal from Montreal, Canada. It's like French fries, cheese, and gravy. And I know sometimes when I go to Miami or New York, they kind of have like similar things to poutine, but you have to try a poutine in Montreal to actually know what poutine is and to understand how good it is. So, but again, I learned how to do it in dosage. I learned how to say no to poutine. And so today we're just gonna go with like proteins, vegetables, salad, and not a poutine. And then I could do it in the weekend. So I learned how to eat good food to keep my moral and my happiness going. And another subject that we kind of went over it already, but let's just say my circle is so limited, and I love it. I love the fact that not a lot of people have access to me, and if I call you a friend, it's because you're my friend, and I'm a very loyal friend. I'm a trustworthy friend, and I'm a fun friend, and if I'm friend with you, I want you to be the same thing to me. So I feel like all of my current relationships it goes both ways. So the fact that it goes both ways, well, it doesn't feel forced, and we share the same hobbies. We like to go out together. We like to eat together. We like to do the same things together. So I have the healthiest friendships, and this is a big part of it for me because my friends are such a big part of my life. I love my friends, so it's important for them or for that friendship to be super healthy. And again, like I mentioned before, I felt like everything was forced, and I was like, trying to keep up with friendships that weren't serving me anymore, and not anymore. So definitely the company you keep was a part of my healing process. And if you're in your healing journey, I feel like you should definitely take a look at that as well. Another big thing is that I learned how to say no. I learned how to say no despite who was asking it, for what reason, for whatever reason it was. If it didn't serve me, if I didn't like it, if it made me uncomfortable, if whatever the reason is, if I did not want it, I learned how to say no, and without any regrets, because people take and they take and they never give back. And you have to understand that. And me, that was a concept that I did not get at first. It was really tough for me to understand. So I learned how to say no. And that kind of hurt some people's feelings because they're so used to you being all yes, just yes to everything. And I know that I lost people too because of that. And honestly, if I lost you because of that, it's because it wasn't necessarily, I didn't need to save you. I didn't need to save this friendship. So I learned how to say no. And the same way that I learned how to say no, it's the same way that I learned how to accept when people say no to me. For example, because I was such a nice person and I always wanted to please my friends, I rarely said no to my friends. So when they said no to me, I took it like a slap in the face. And I was just like, I can't believe she said no to me. She doesn't want to go there with me. She doesn't want to do this for me. She doesn't want to do that for me. Which honestly, it's very okay for somebody to say no to you. But because I never used to say no to people, because I used to always put people first and myself last, I thought people were just mean. But in reality, they were just protecting themselves. So this is another point. Protect yourself. People protect themselves. So who's going to protect you? You have to protect. You are your biggest protector, biggest lover. Nobody's gonna love you more than you love yourself. And the amount of love that you show yourself is the same amount of love that people will show you as well. That is something that I literally learned the hard way. And I'll be frankly honest with you guys, it's still something that I struggle with. It's definitely something that I struggle with. Saying no, because sometimes I feel bad, and at least I try to compromise. I always try to compromise, whatever the situation is, depending on who's asking. I always try to compromise as well. But bottom line is, when you don't feel, good about a certain things, you say no, and that's that. Another thing that I do that helped me in my healing journey, I love to travel. Honestly, I love to travel. So how could I say? So basically, before I used to hold myself back, not travel because of work, not travel because, I don't know, I wanted to save for, it's so funny. So it's the first time I'm actually saying this out loud, but I used to, maybe 2 years ago, I wouldn't take a trip because I would be saving for my condo. Like eventually I want to move out of my parents' house, even though my parents do not want me to move out, right? In the suburbs of Montreal, because that's what I was trained to want. But in reality, I do not want to live and end up and finish my life in Montreal. To me, that would be like a death sentence. Literally. So I learned how to not follow everybody else and just go with what I feel like. So I started traveling more and just being like, listen, I'm not saying not to save. I'm still saving, and my mom helps me out because she's the best at it, but I'm still saving, but I'm just not saving for the same things. And because I love to travel at this point, at this moment right now, this is what I will do, and it makes me so happy. Every time I'm on the trip, I'm the happiest person. And every time I come back, I have this boost of energy because I traveled. I do things that I like, not things that I think, it might be good for the one next door or the other one next to me, but not for me, because I do not want to live in Montreal. I don't want to, that's not where I'm going to finish my life. That's not where I want to raise my kids, get married, and anything. Yes, I'll probably come back, but you guys get my point. So I just started doing things for me. So traveling, anytime that I can travel, I do. And I used to say no before, just, I don't know why, even though I love to travel. And now, like if you tell me, let's go anywhere tomorrow, I will pack my and we're gonna go. Basically, living intentionally is definitely part of it. Living intentionally. So that was my next point. So living intentionally is such a big part of my level up healing journey. Everything that I do, there's a purpose behind it. So living intentionally for me means that I am living in the moment. I try my best to live in the moment. I do things that I want. I take on the projects that have been on my list for forever, and I work on them. But that's living intentionally with purpose and your purpose and what matters to you. I told myself, for example, this year I'm going to be, more serious with my YouTube channel, with my TikTok. And that's what I do. And again, I know it doesn't happen over time. And sometimes I slack. Sometimes I go days and days and I don't do much regarding this. And then I just pick it back up because I know Rome wasn't built like in a day. I know that sooner or later, this will become supernatural for me. But I have to get started and put energy and consistency, force into it. Like I have to work on it. Discipline, living my life intentionally, hanging out with people that I actually want, going to restaurants that I actually like, doing things that I actually love, not saying yes to everything just because I want to please somebody. No. It's all about me now and me and the people that care about me. So this is how I live intentionally. So it's so funny because I'm just looking up the definition of living intentionally on Google just to make sure that I wasn't saying anything that I talking about a subject that I did not know about, but that's exactly what it says on Google. Intentional living is any lifestyle based on an individual or a group's conscious attempt to live according to their values and beliefs. This is exactly what I was just telling you guys. This confirms everything that I've been telling you guys. I believe that to live intentionally, you have to know yourself, know your values, know what you love, know what you don't like, get to know yourself on a deeper level, and it's going to be tough, but you have to look at your traumas as well. The things that made you who you are and why did they make you who you are. Get to know yourself and don't be so hard on yourself. That's the worst thing you could do. Don't be so hard on yourself. Do it with compassion. Do it like you would do it for a friend. First of all, this is the way that I try to see things. Oh my God, my thing's out of battery. But this is the way that I try to see things. So I try to treat myself the way that I would treat a friend. I used to treat my friends like queens and princesses and princess. So this is how I treat myself now. It goes back to the same thing. Doing the things that I love for me. My battery had died, so during the time that I was charging, I finished my makeup and I did my hair. So from what I can see, I think we touched base on all of the points that I wanted to touch base on. So if we summarize what I actually said was basically, my healing journey, it's still a process. I'm not done healing because every day there's different situation and you deal with different people. So there's a lot of things that happen. So I'm just saying that I'm never finished learning. I'm never finished healing, and I'm just hoping that I, develop better ways of dealing with problems, dealing with friendship, just to forever work on myself and the way that I deal with relationship and friendships. So basically what I think you should remember and what really helped me in my healing journey was make time for yourself, work on your projects, work on yourself, and that will make you the happiest person. It will give you the greatest satisfaction. It will give you it will keep you going. Just be consistent with yourself the same way that you're consistent with somebody else's work, somebody else's needs, somebody else's feelings. Just do the same thing for yourself, and there's no better outcome. Honestly, when you work on yourself, you can't go wrong with that. So that's that. Do not be afraid to say no. For example, if you were before, like me, a bit of a people pleaser for your friends, just be a people pleaser for yourself. Make yourself happy, make yourself smile, live intentionally, and remember what your values are, what you love, what you believe in, and just live by that. Be your best version at all time. Gym. Take up something. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to do Pilates. It could be anything, but something that will make you feel better physically as well is super important. You could be the sexiest girl alive right now, but you won't be sexy forever if you don't work out. So find an activity, an outdoor, maybe indoor activity that's just going to help you sweat a little bit and, release those energies that you have. Do not be afraid to just, cut people off accordingly, but don't do it impulsively, accordingly. So, gather the facts, and if, you can't hold on to people that don't want to hold on to you, you can't hold on to things that do not want to hold on to you as well, And most of the times we have this gut feelings where we tell each other, yeah, like really deep down inside, you know that this relationship is over, you know that this person is no good for you, but you just keep on holding on just for the sake of holding on, and just because this is what you were thought to do, right? This is what you think you need to do, but things change, people change, we grow up, and sometimes it's just better to cut the cord than to drain yourself and to drag yourself into somebody that, you know, doesn't want to be dragged with you, basically. So that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Honestly, I think I went through a bit of the steps of what I took to, you know, towards my healing journey. And just so you know, I'm not finished healing, like I've been saying for like the past 3 times, but yes, I'm forever learning. So hopefully this can help you, this can guide you a bit through life, because sometimes, you know, we go through rough patches, and I know you're not at ease or at peace to talk about it with other people. So when you find some people that you can relate to, it's easier to go through it also. So if you guys have any tricks, leave them down below. I'm for sure there's other tips and tricks that I do not know that you guys could share with me, so I'm super open to that as well. So thank you so much for watching my channel. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys think about this video, and I'll see you soon.